Hey everyone, my name is Sin, and over the years I've had a number of people ask me for tips on how to beat Nightmare King Grimm. I don't normally like to give too much advice in this game, especially when it comes to boss battles, because everyone has a different playstyle, but here's how I did it. First I'll show you my fight with him, and then I'll break down step by step how I did it, on Radiant mode. Okay, so he has 6 different attacks here. Fire Bats, Dive Dash, Dash Uppercut, Cloak Spikes, Flame Pillars, and Pufferfish. He also teleports and skitters, but we don't need to explain those. Before we get into each move, I'm going to explain my ideal positioning in the arena to be in before every attack. These are the 2 arenas, Normal and Got Home. I always try to stay around these approximate positions as much as possible and stay away from the sides and the very middle area. It's okay to go into these areas, but before every attack starts, I try to be as close to this area as possible. Every attack starts with me double jumping as high as possible at the instant he teleports in or very close to it. Every time he teleports, he reappears with the same delay, so timing your jumps to the rhythm of when he appears shouldn't be too hard with a bit of practice. And now the attacks. First one is Fire Bats. If your positioning is right, after your initial double jump, you should be able to dash over all the bats without worrying about timing Shade Cloak and land right in front of him to get at least 2 hits and sometimes 3 with Quick Slash equipped. If you think you've jumped too early or you're going to land too soon, you can get a little closer to him and he'll teleport away before firing his last shot, giving you time to recover. For the dive dash, I usually don't attack him at all as I find it too risky to ensure a flawless hit without taking damage, so I just dash over him, making sure to clear his fire trail. You may try to pogo him during this move, but I don't recommend it. It's also important to keep track of your position in the air relative to Grimm and dash towards him. I purposely move away from him in the air so that he lands behind me instead of directly underneath me. Since Grimm always dashes in your horizontal direction, this makes it clear which direction he will dash, and you can dash the other way, avoiding him. The dash uppercut is a little harder as it's 2 moves in one. There's the dash upwards and the fire rain afterwards. After your double jump, try to position yourself above and just behind him, and he'll jump up in the same angle as always where you can hit him. Then, fall straight down where you should be able to avoid the fire without moving or moving very little. You can avoid hitting him on this one if you'd like, but I found it consistently safe to hit him on the way up as I'm falling back down. Cloak Spikes. Not really much to say here. Since we start every move with a jump, just position yourself in between the spikes as fast as possible and try not to be moving around too much when it starts for the best reaction time. Not performing the double jump and keeping you lower to the ground will make it easier because the spikes are not perfectly straight. The flame pillars are a little tricky and can get out of control quickly. After your double jump, you will see Grimm stationary in the air and the ground will start to light up below you. Normally I will dash towards Grimm and get a couple hits in the air, and then fall where I will slowly walk away from the pillars and get a couple more hits in from underneath. This is usually where I get more of my hits in, getting at least 4 and sometimes 5 or even 6 if my timing is perfect. If you're too far to the sides, make sure to get back to a safe area when the attack is done. You can shade cloak back towards safety if needed. And lastly, the Pufferfish. This happens every time Grimm loses 25% health, so you can judge how far along the fight you are by how many times this move has come up. After the 3rd Pufferfish, you're down to the last 25%. Although you can attack him with spells during this phase, it's best not to unless you're okay with taking a few hits. The key to not taking damage on this section is quick jumps only when needed and to move back and forth in the air. You want to be moving towards him while jumping over the fireballs, and moving away from him while falling back to the ground. This gives you more time to time the next jump and less time over the actual fireball. Even though the fireballs are random, even with the worst patterns, you should be able to jump over all of them with a bit of practice. And that wraps up how I fight Nightmare King Grimm on Radiant. Keep in mind that everyone plays different, and this is just what worked for me, so you may find your own way or a variation of what I've shown or anyone else has shown. Have fun, everyone!